Folks, we are live. Welcome to the random generator party or the random party generator. I
We'll
I
get the name
named
right
it.
sooner or later.
I have no fucking clue. Maybe I should just do a new splash page for this. Name it the one that always comes out of my mouth first.
Yeah.
In any case, you have myself, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. You have to my stage right, but I'm pointing left on my end. Rob Conley, Mr. Bat in the Attic, Black Marsh, Points of Light, yada, yada, yada. He is the man for the sandboxing. Beneath me, Joe the lawyer.
Hello, hello.
So far beneath you.
Oh,
Well, I had somebody compliment me and to some extent and say that if you want to follow news in gaming, you should be listening to Tenkar. But I just don't like his punditry. But Joe is full of punditry. So
I always pundit. I am, yeah. In
yeah,
fact,
yeah.
back in the day, people thought me or the RPG pundit were the same person. I remember a couple posts like one of us is a sock puppet of the other. And I remember a couple of people said that on boards. I'm like, no, we just.
I never heard of that. But you're the Mr. 2000 copper piece man who broke an idea.
That was fun.
Yeah,
unintended. We're all here. 3 or 4 of us were here that night.
That's right. And last but not least, what movie or TV show is that pirate?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out too.
No, it's Christopher Walken as Puss in Boots. Okay. In this, it is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. It's so bad. So I decided to wear him as my Halloween costume.
Did he do a speech about how he takes a watch and shoves it up his ass?
No, that's a different movie. But it is so bad. It has the worst songs of any children's musical thing. It's filmed in Israel for I think a budget of $12,000. It's horrific.
I'm Christopher Walken, and awesome. I work for nothing.
It's also available on like Freebie or whatever, some kind of streaming service. So that's why I watched it recently. But my wife could barely believe how bad it is.
Wow,
it's so bad.
So this, by the way, the pirate head is Greg Christopher. Now I know, I've heard questions and complaints that there aren't names under us, and you know
how do we do that? Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, there is. And once we go beyond like 2 people,
we're a bunch of old idiots.
Once we go beyond 2 people on screen, the names seem to go away.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why that is. I mean, here I'm gonna go to General and General doesn't do shit. I guess maybe. Well, we don't want to authenticate. We don't.
So, Eric, I have the link to the trailer if you want to post it for all to enjoy.
Trailer of what? Trailer of what?
Trailer of Doom.
Trailer for that move for the
God. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get copyright struck for fucking Puss in Boots. I can see.
Yeah,
that
not gonna get. Yeah,
don't show it. Okay, don't show it. Just post a link in the comments.
There you go.
There you go. God, for everybody to see the Puss in Boots. Way to direct traffic. Our meager 6 viewers, you're going to have them go look at some other damn thing here, Rob. You know?
I want to see Puss in Boots.
It's almost worth it to see if we do get a copyright strike from showing it, because who the hell would admit to owning it?
Yeah, that's true.
Or creating it. How about that? It's like, yeah, that's ours. And wait, you tried to actually show it and a trailer. Oh, my God. But what I never understand is there are, if you watch on YouTube, there are like entire like channels that are devoted to taking apart trailers, and it's like,
oh yeah. So, they'll spend half an hour on a 2-minute trailer. I'm like, Jesus, dude, come on, man. They get a lot of views though, man. All those like neurotic and all those.
That one video you posted, lambasting Rings of Power. The guy showed just about the entire freaking.
Oh, you know his secret, Rob? He has Amazon on his screen, right on his like computer screen, and he does the share screen thing, but it's completely paused the whole time. and all he does is click the forward, and it jumps 15 seconds at a time to a freeze frame, and that cues where they were in the thing. Oh, here she's going there. Oh, okay, now she's going over here. Oh, now they're talking. And so you're never seeing the video. You're just seeing a series of still images 15 seconds apart, which is kind of slick. You get around that whole thing. You know?
And he's not using any of
These
the
are the
audio.
tips and tricks we offer you folks,
Right?
our fine viewers.
He's not using any audio.
Okay, so the next time we review a movie, we will just do that.
There we go.
Be a lot easier to get struck like last time. Amazon,
Yeah,
fuck
but hey,
bastards. Fuck you, Bezos.
we also got struck in the end by it was a delayed strike. HBO gave us a delayed strike.
No kidding.
Yeah,
what did you guys review? I wasn't around for that.
We did the trailers for the D&D movie. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got like an immediate strike before we were even done recording. We got an immediate strike because of the Rings of Power, and
Rings of Turd.
And then like a week later, it wasn't even a strike. It was just a copyright notice that I was being demonetized for that episode. It's like, all right.
Hey, speaking of strikes, next year around 11 and a half months, maybe 11 months and 1 week from now, I'm going to be striking Rob repeatedly with a foam sword. We now have a bet, everybody. It's done, boy. It's done. This is it.
This is the conversation that made no sense to me. Now it makes sense to me.
Yep, it's gone, man. I posted if anybody who said, "Oh, here we go. He's getting something. He's getting a weapon." Anybody who saw my video the other day, I posted it was I had a.
Oh, you guys Friar Tuck.
There it is. I had a sword combat with.
I'm not going to be bringing this sword down.
That's good. It looks a little heavy. I'm using foam cheap ones from the Halloween store. I had a fight with my nephew. Sword, it was foam sword things, and I beat his ass, and it was great because it's probably the last time I'll ever get to beat him in anything ever, athletically or physically. So it was fun. How old is he? He's 17, and he's like 6'1", and he's like 220, which is about 100 pounds lighter than me. And it was a glorious battle, and everybody.
You were smart. You remembered your fencing training.
Oh, I did. He didn't know I took fencing in college.
Probably your guard was in front of you the whole time, so he had to move twice as far in order to do anything.
Dude, it's all I had. He's young. I'm 52. He's full of piss and vinegar. He's running around like a maniac. Like I ran around like a racquetball. If you want to see the video, youtube.com/JoetheLawyer. And by the way, I'm competing with Rob. We have a bet, I think. Don't we have a bet?
We don't have a bet. We're just going to have bragging rights.
Bragging rights. You should put some money down. But it goes to charity. So
I never bet.
All right. I know we're not going to show this because there's a likely chance that either or both of us will have a heart attack while doing it. So we're not going to have a video of our either deaths. So we're not going to have that anywhere.
Is this like your bet with Matt, where it's so far in the future that?
Oh yeah. But that's still on. That's not Matt's YouTube channel and my YouTube channel. First one to get monetized. The other guy has to pay $100 to the other's favorite charity and buy a steak dinner for the person at ShireCon. So yeah, that'll be by next year. Well, one of us or both of us will have it, but I'll be there first.
But right now, isn't he like?
He's like 75 members ahead, but I'm also like 120 hours ahead in terms of viewership. So it's like,
but you had like a year head start.
Yeah, I know. I kind of slacked off. And I didn't think there'd be that many people without friends who give a fuck about solo RPGs. Who knew there was that many people with no friends out there? I had no idea. So now I got to get on my game here, figure this out. So I got to throw some videos. So yeah. But his YouTube channel is youtube.com/IHateLadders. So if you want to go follow him, you're good to go. And mine is /JoetheLawyer, Yeah. So, the more followers, the more viewers we get, the better. Bragging rights and charity. That's all I'm saying.
And should we guilt Rob now that Joe is pushing Rob to start a YouTube channel?
Yes, he better. Damn it, it'd be a good time.
If you do that, we're gonna have to start an unofficial network for these because it's gonna be
Well, I was thinking about the other day, and I can go through each of my steps on how to make a fantasy sandbox and put an additional link to a YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
And I started thinking of ideas what I could talk about, and I think I could do it. So it's just a matter of finding. I've just got to find the time to do it and get the details down. I don't want to do an hour video on each step, so the shorter I can do it, but still be useful would be ideal.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes, you're covered, and just break it all down and step. Yeah, that'd be fine, man. You got a whole playlist. And then from there, you can just springboard it to anything else. Watch, Rob will fucking be monetizing for either of us.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, basically doing the mat thing.
Just
and
make sure you have pants on. That's all. Just pants, Rob. Make sure.
I have pants on.
All right. It's been one, What was that? Who was that CNN guy?
Jeffrey Tubin.
There you go.
Tubin. Great name
He
for
was
somebody.
showing everyone his Tubin.
Yeah, he was. I figured Greg would know. We're from the Atlanta area. It's home CNN and Coca-Cola.
I watch a lot of political commentary from the right and the left, and both sides were having so much fun with it when that happened.
Oh God, it was fantastic. I mean, who was it? That's a good time for all, right there.
Unfortunately, he's one of the only ones on any of networks who actually had expertise in Supreme Court decisions and stuff. Like, I haven't seen hardly any other expert with his level of Supreme Court knowledge.
Yeah,
it's rare. Yeah,
he had a boner for it. I heard. Yeah.
I'm bragging my whatever.
God, sorry. We believe it or not, we actually had a topic tonight. We were talking about for shooting around, because one of my ideas to kick Matt's ass was going to be, I'm going to probably do my next video about what is the better starting town, Hamlet or Phandalin, just in terms of starting town, not adventure, which was leading me to do a little research online about, what do people think makes a good starting town? Because there's two perspectives, right? What is for the PCs? What do they want? What do they want to have in a starting town? And for a DM, what do you want to have in terms of resources? So I figured maybe we could hash out some of that criteria today. Like, what makes a good starting town for PCs for the game, but for PCs and DMs. So what do you think? Anybody? Who wants to start that shit?
I'm going to go for a choice that neither of the choices. Should I say that? You
don't need a starting town?
Well, no, I would say something like keep on the Borderlands. Because I think, to me, what's more important is not the town, but it's the surroundings. It's the hooks.
Okay.
It's the ability, especially if you're going to try to teach people how to play old school. Mm-hmm. It's the ability to say, hey, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hooks. Which thread are you going to pull at first? Okay. Which I think a lot of times we forget about.
So expand on that, Eric. So instead of voting for the place, just say, okay, we want a place with plot hooks. Now, what does a good starting location contain that would give good plot hooks? I mean, what do you need to have in this town? I'm thinking a diversity of PCs, and not, by diversity I mean a lot of them. I don't mean the newest way they're saying it. So like I think NPCs, some sort of history. Like what are the factors?
Well, here's the thing: it's all but the smaller settlement. It's going to have so much potential life to it that it will quickly. There will be options. So a village of Hamlet, Creep on the Borderland, or Phandelver already has the prerequisite number of NPCs and plot hooks. But what matters is it's like you guys, those of you who participated in my city-state campaign, I mean, you guys, I talked about your characters, and you told me, Greg wanted to be a Viking prince, exile Viking prince, and so I created.
Gamer, by the way, such a power.
You're just mad because my character's evolved to be like a fucking merciless slaughterhouse.
Yeah, of only goblins though. He's only the goblin killer. When he's an orc killer, come talk to me. No, that's all.
Not just goblins, my friend.
Sorry, I'm good.
I already knew that there were some exiles in city-states, so I just fleshed that out in more detail. It hasn't really come up other than the fact that city-state has Viking exiles. So that needed to be fleshed out. So I came up with a few things, and that formed an initial part of the adventure, especially when he had to go, rescue his sister. And you played a thug. You wanted to be this Irish thug kind of guy in the neighborhood. So if you notice, the first part of the campaign, the home base was your tavern.
Yeah, a lot of thuggery. That completely fits the Boston Irish 1930s gangster thing I was shooting for.
But if you notice that the NPCs, the NPCs you paid attention to all kind of fit in that, but
Yep.
there were other NPCs there. There were just Joe Schmo who walked in, or Amy the bartender. You don't give two thoughts about it, her, and but so your background. So that's what you. So Hamlet, Keep on the Borderland, and Phandalin all have a life of their own. It's just even though the text has detailed certain individuals, it's implied by looking at all the buildings on there that there are other people there. So if your particular crew doesn't seem to fit any of the published NPCs, you can always go diving, and there's already somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, for example, in Hamlet, there's those two traders that are evil agents of the Temple of Elemental Evil.
Spoiler alert! Jeez, what the hell, Rob? Come on.
You don't have to. You don't have to
put
a spoiler alert on something from the 80s.
Yeah, it's a 40-year-old adventure. 40-year-old adventure.
Spoiler alert, Luke.
Luke, he's your father.
Oh my god.
But the thing is that, those traders live in Hamlet, and they lived there for quite some time, and they have relationships. They probably even have co-conspirators but the module doesn't really detail who they are. So you could flesh that out if the party is basically an evil group, and that's what they're focusing on.
So forget I even mentioned the names of cities. What factors go into it? It sounds like, Eric, what you're saying is a place with a lot of plot hooks, and Rob, what you're saying is a place with a lot of PC integration.
Well, but those two kind of work between, right? Because if PCs are integrated, they're going to find a lot of plot hooks.
Yep.
All right. Now, James is does your town have a Gong Farmers Guild? It will have a Gong Farmers Guild if it reaches a certain size. But if it's a place like Hamlet, you don't even have an undertaker. You're not going to have a gong farmer. It's not going to be big enough. Everybody's going to take care of their own trash and their own shit, probably by literally tossing it into the stream.
I'm really going to have to Google what the hell a gong farmer is right now.
You don't know what a gong farmer is?
Rob, you doing it too?
It's part of the Gonzo side of the OSI, and go up the Windsey River and you'll find them all.
Oh god, Wikipedia.
DCCRPG is the one that went, hey, you were a gong farmer.
The fuck?
I have a slightly different view than you guys. So,
all right. What do you got?
Like a long time ago, somebody said this. It wasn't my idea, but I think it's brilliant. Is that the dungeon itself is simply a flowchart of encounters. So there might be a hallway that goes from room A to B. There might be a hallway that goes from A to D to F and then to B. But it's all part of just, it could be easily, you could turn any dungeon into a flowchart. Now, some are going to be more linear, some are going to be a lot more diverse, but it's just a flowchart, right? And the reason why you want to think about it that way is the more that the flowchart branches, the more the players are going to be tentative about going in any particular direction. Because, like, if I go that way, I could get flanked because I still haven't discovered what's right over here, and there's kind of a hesitance to overextend in one direction, kind of in the same way that, like, if you play computer RPGs, you don't want to go around and open every single quest hook in Skyrim so that you've got a journal that has 45 quests you're supposedly working on at one time and everything. You want to kind of keep a manageable number of things that you're working on at one time. So to me, the whole point of the town, the city, whatever, is to provide you with a number of hooks, but not a unlimited or massive number of hooks so that you become so overwhelmed. Like, that's why I think, running city campaigns are extremely difficult for most GMs because there's just so much potential. You can run in any direction. The same could be said of, like, running a Star Wars campaign where you just if you let them go to any planet. Well, now you have to know what's on every damn planet. So that's the kind of, like, think of it like that flow chart. You want there to be a few choices at every node, but you don't want every node on the flow chart to have 45 choices. It becomes insane. The human brain can't comprehend it.
That's where random encounter tables come in. I mean, that was the one good thing I got out of that Monty Cook's Patolus, or how the hell you say PTOLUS, that one.
Patolus.
He had not that I'm saying I bought it, but I may have come across a PDF or two here and there, and they had some amazing charts on there for random shit that I've actually printed up. Random pickpocket, random this, random that. I'm like, that's a fucking useful thing.
I agree with that about random charts. I use them all the time in the city-state campaign.
Yeah.
And the way I handle it is think about it in your own lives. I mean, let's be honest. How many things you are aware of at once? I mean, there's stuff happening all around you. Okay. I mean, you go to work, there's stuff happening, but how many of those things you actually pay attention and which the details thereof are important for you? And I bet it amounts to maybe a dozen at best, probably only a handful typically. And
I observe everything, Rob.
Yeah, that's okay. I like to run fantasy campaign. I'm not. Anyway, so what I like to do is, I listen to what you guys told me about your characters. Another campaign, I listen to what my players tell me about their characters, and I try to focus on less like 2 or 3 things out of what they tell me, and then maybe have 1 or 2 random things using the random tables that Joe mentioned. Because I love, there's certain random tables I love.
Yeah.
For example, the cities table from McKemia Press. That's good stuff there.
I got that book.
The Harn.
Oh,
Harn
has got to be on our bingo card. Where the hell is Matt with that bingo card? Is that on there?
Is it a bingo card or a drinking game?
Oh, I think anything can be made into a drinking game, but we got to put Harn on it now.
Harn.
Well, then you got to cross it off every every show.
Bingo!
Sitting there.
That you get that one for free. That one they just kind of like.
That should be the center square that you get filled in. But so that's the rule of thumb, because literally, in every locale in a fantasy, in any kind of setting, fantasy, science fiction, the possibilities are effectively, well, they're finite, but they're, for the point of view of an individual, they're infinite.
Yeah.
But so how do we deal with? You should deal with the same way they deal with in life. You really only focus on the things that are interesting or important to you.
And usually that stuff is the stuff you worry the most about, right? I mean, day to day, what's on the top of our mind? The shit we worry about, and after that, the shit we enjoy, right? It's always the worry first. So every NPC in town has a concern. And
sorry, I have a request for Ivenia.
Uh-oh. Every concern a person has been a potential plot hook for the PCs to help with, right? So it just matters of the type of concern and how severe it is.
I mean, I have found over the years a number of books are really good for, as a GM, when your players are especially in a town, you need to go off script, because in a town there is no dungeons are partially like railroads, right? There's only certain directions they're going to go into.
Yeah.
And every town is a sandbox. So things like the D30 Sandbox Companion, the D30 DM's Companion are great. But I found a new product.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so here I'm gonna bring this up.
As Eric pulls that up, you guys should all thank me, because before the show I told Rob to make sure he has pants on, so he just stood up. It would have been a whole different view right there had I not warned you. Anyway,
what's this thing?
He's not Reggie. I
mean,
he's not Reggie. God damn it!
What is this? Dread Thingamicon? What the fuck is this?
Dread Thingamicon. Now, listen, I'm gonna say this flat out. If you decide to get this, get the print plus the PDF, because the PDF, unless you can get it as a deal of the day, is a $28 PDF.
Jesus Christ.
All right, but it's got 480 pages, and I am going to.
Jesus Christ. All right.
So I'm going to give us a random page. Let's say 45.
All right.
Bandits and Brigands, and it gives us results of parties encountering bandits and brigands.
Is this on DTRPG, Eric?
Yep. You got random brigands. On a roll of a 2, Costi Etharo, a murderer and a rapist. Costi is feared by his friends and enemies alike. Then thin and wiry, this man exudes energy and malice. He wears a dirty cloak and a deep hood, and gently rests a hand on his dagger's pommel. And it is pretty much system neutral stuff. They might have alignments in it, but It doesn't go in. You can use this with the OSR. You can use it with 5e.
I don't know how you spell that thing. I'm looking it up. Thing a non
Thing o the dread thing o nomicon. Get an onomicon.
Oh, NOMICON.
There
it is.
What the frack?
Okay, so this is literally probably
There's 1 and 2.
This is years of Rage and Swan Press's more minor releases put into one large effing book. I had it in the back seat of my car. I forgot coming back from the Poconos because I almost left it up there. And then today I stopped short and I hear "Kutunk." I'm like, what? And Rach is like, "Oh, it's your book." I'm like, "Okay."
You know what? I'm looking at the price now.
They don't even post the complete table of content to let us show any example text. It ends at page 302, and there's definitely more.
Well, you know what is interesting? I'm looking at the price now, Eric. Yeah, $27.95 for a PDF. Now the soft cover color book is $45, and the hardcover is $49. I mean, for $4 it's a no-brainer for the survivability.
Yeah, page 302, hazards on the road. A wagon with a broken wheel sits on the edge of the road. All these things. Listen, if you're an improv DM,
that's awesome.
Which is what I am for the most part. I'll have what the main story is written out or whatever, but I like to surprise myself and surprise my players at some of these events. This is something that is going to be immensely useful for me. Yeah. Camping and campsites, all that stuff. And folks, I don't even have my drive-through link up on this one. I'm just throwing this out there. Yeah. I think it's a good product, and I really enjoyed leafing through it in the Poconos. So
now, I'm looking at the page, Eric. I just typed in Thingonomicon. I like saying that word now, by the way. That's kind of cool. There's a drunk test. Everybody at the bar, they got to get caught off if they can't say Thingonomicon anymore. But anyway, I'm looking at GM's Miscellany Thingonomicon, and then Thingonomicon 2, and then Thingonomicon Collection. I take it that the Dread one is the ultimate
the Dread is
collection.
Everything.
Right, so you're getting the whole shebang with that.
You're getting the whole shebang. I was like, holy crap, this is certainly worth the investment. And it's a DM's toolbox for that last moment. Like when your players ask you that question, and you're like, oh, what? I actually didn't get dead guy's pockets. Dead and shit. They have a section on that.
Well, does this also combine? Because now I'm looking at the publisher, Raging Swan Press, and they have GM's Miscellany Wilderness Dressing, Dungeon Dressing, Urban Dressing 2, all that. Is that in there too? Like all those dressings in there?
Here, let me go to the beginning, and let's look at the index.
They got one for Loot the Body.
Yeah. So 20 things by subject: abnormally low-level undead, alchemist laboratories, ancient necropolis, archives and libraries, bandits and brigands, besieged castle, bustling marketplace, creepy graveyard, crypts and catacombs, cultist lair, curio shop and pawnbrokers, dark caverns, dragon's lair, black dragon, dragon's lair, blue dragon, green dragon, red dragon, white dragon, failed thiefish doings, fairs and festivals.
That's a great title.
Failed thiefish doings.
Yes. Wow. Failed to find anything, failed to find a trap, failed to pickpockets, unwelcome discoveries, fallen dwarven hold, Fane of evil, Fane of good, farming village, fecund jungle, fort under borderlands, ghostly hauntings, goblin lair. We're not even halfway through. Jesus. Haunted house, hench folk and hirelings. And these are by class. Hill giant steading, items most wondrous 2, kobold warren, lich's lair, local landmarks, looting the dead. I personally like the looting the dead ones, but that's just me. Lunatic asylum, merchant caravan, minions of evil, noble manor house, noisome marsh, noisome sewer, ocean voyage, on the road, orc village, ruined castle, ruined city, ruined monastery, ruined wizard's tower, seedy tavern, Shadowed Borderlands, Slaver's Compound, Smuggler's Lair, Smuggler's Village,
Jesus.
Snow and Ice, Subterranean Mine, Sun-Scorched Desert, Sunken Ship, Torture Chambers, because everybody needs details in their torture chambers, Townsfolks and Villages, Travelers Inn, Troublesome Treasures, Urban Chases, Minor Urban Events, Urban Landmarks.
Okay, Eric, I know we have a couple hours.
Now, what's the last page anyway? But in any case, it is a shit ton of material, either for preparation, or for improvisation. For me, it is priceless.
I tell you what, I'm going through the titles from Raging Swan Press, and I just keep clicking right on drive through. Yeah. As you were reading that, I kept clicking. I'm up to 260 unique products. It's insane.
Yeah. Raging Swan Press is a company that I found early on in my return to gaming, and their system neutral or their old school material, if you need like a village or a local setting, second to none. They don't half-ass anything.
I'm at the village maps and stuff now. They look really good. They look really good. $4 for a map or something, it looks like. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, they have some good city maps for publications.
Yeah.
I'm up to 314, 300. That's insane how much shit they have. So I guess, Jesus, man. That's nice.
Well, if we're going to be plugging this stuff, I recommend for like mapping stuff and illustration, I recommend the Forge Studio.
Yeah? What's that? What do they have?
They have a ton of stuff for stock art.
They're mostly stock art, but they also have, for players or for DMs, I should say. They have a line of a village. So you buy this village and you get a fleshed out village with a really nice map. Like, and they have locales too, like Forge Locale #1, the House of the Broken Sky. And created for its game master who's short on preparation time or looking for new ideas, Forge Locale represents a fantasy adventure ready to be location ready to be developed. So they have a lot of stuff like that, and they do gorgeous landscape stuff. I use their art all the time in my books. I don't use their adventure stuff that often because Harn. But they make wonderful maps.
Harn needs multiple places on those bingo cards.
I agree. That may be right up there with the other thing.
Well, I'll tell you, if I'm going to plug Harn, so folks listening on, this. So this, hold on, gotta see myself. So this is called the Harn Pottage. This is totally for free on Lithia.com. Just download it and print it, and this is all pretty much system neutral stuff. They even give you in #4 a complete city.
Damn.
Yeah.
The maps are up to Harn quality too. I mean, this is all fan written.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's written by a team. Mike St. Pierre, the artist. The map is done by Mike St. Pierre, and he shelled out his own money to pay Richard Luschek, the standard Harn artist, to commission pieces like that. So
it's nice.
It's like a complete castle.
Well, the Harn stuff has always been good. My problem with the Harn stuff, and Rob's gonna take offense at this. It was good without, and it was detailed, but it was bland. That's me back in the 80s when I found Harn. I found it to be a bland setting to run for my players.
Oh, don't be. I mean, it is. I mean,
I didn't expect that.
What was appealing about it was there was some glimmers of stuff, but you got a city in 12 pages, but how much can you flesh out in 12 pages? So I mean, for example, I don't have too many of these around because I gave them to Tim. But this is Zarin from the 80s, and this is Zarin from today, and it is, instead of being 10 pages, it is now 12 pages, but they focus a lot more on the NPCs. So you get a sense of the people there, and thus, as you said, Eric, there's more plot hooks to do stuff. And that's the big change in the last 15 years as far as time products. The old tan stuff, they were trying to go for scope, but now all the new stuff, they really tried to flesh out the life of the setting.
That's good. Because like I said, like when I was picking that stuff up in my late teens, early 20s, my players would cringe at me having another Harn product because like they just like, can we go back? If we're not gonna do Forgotten Realms, can we go back to Greyhawk? I mean, please. But Harn was planned out. Like you could see, at least as a DM or GM, you could see how everything made logical sense as to why everything was. Whereas,
that's what I like about it.
Yeah. Like Forgotten Realms is
like me on steroids, though. That's the problem. It's too much me. You know what I mean? It's like it's like how I think, but there's a limit, and that Harn goes beyond my own limit. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit.
Well, bit I'm gonna let the listeners here. I mean, there are settings that go into, a lot of detail. I mean, if you go here, and I. Why did I pack this? What the heck?
By the way, I'm hitting my final clicks on this purchase. By the way, $58. Thank you. Thank you. I hate you.
Okay, so this is the Rivendell Region Guide. It's pretty good, and but it's pretty darn wordy for a 140-page book, and this is probably 140 page when you tally everything together, but it's so much more detail. It's a lot less verb. It covers a larger area, and you don't have to wade through all the text of this to find the good stuff. Here, they just state it simply, and it's easy to find.
Irrespective of Harn or anything else, is there a difference when you look for like a starting town? Zipping it back to the beginning again, when you're looking at starting town, is there a difference in terms of what do players want in a starting town and what do DMs want? There's pretty much everything is an overlap. Is there anything that players want that DMs wouldn't want and vice versa? Can you think of anything like that, or is it pretty much the same list?
Well, the feedback I got on Scourge of the Demon Wolf was it's a mixed bag. I mean, some people appreciated the fact that I divided the book into two halves. One was the adventure, and the way I described the village in Scourge of the Demon Wolf was very, very terse in the first half. And then the second half, I go basically using Harn format as my guide. I detailed everybody in the village of Kensala who lived at the Magus Conclave. Everybody's dealing. They all have story. They all have an interlocutor. You could probably base half your campaign in just one of these two locations if you really have players interested in living that kind of life.
So you're saying layout then, Rob, basically to summarize. You're saying a layout is a difference that players want versus DMs? Because I'm not talking about the presentation.
No. Just take a referee. Some referee just want it short, to the point. I can take care of the rest. And some referee want the detail.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the difference between, is there anything that players would want that a DM wouldn't, and vice versa? That was what I was getting at here. In other words, if the list of what makes a good starting town, is it the same for players and DMs? Is there something that one wants that the other
depends on the design. Like, so Joe, in that in the hex crawl that I ran of my own design, you guys were in a town that had a limited gold cap, right?
Yep.
And so for me, the purpose of that is so that you don't just sit in the same town forever mining the nearby countryside for gold. And you have to actually go. And so that ended up driving you guys to travel
the world,
halfway across the kingdom. And then once you realized how easy it was to travel, then you began going crazy. So I think from that perspective, the players like, damn, I can't sell this magic item.
It's not simple. Yes.
Yeah. Why isn't there anyone in this 300-man village who'll buy my 12,000 gold piece magic item?
Apparatus of koalish. Yeah.
So, but
well, I got to be straight with you, Greg. My character wasn't happy with the situation. My character would have worked best if we stuck around a locale and I would have gotten my sneaky little tendrils in everybody's life, manipulating them left and right. And it was kind of hard to doing that, to being as an itinerant traveler, never staying in one place for long.
Rob's got a point. I like the integration and immersion of one place. I want to know what the color of the socks are, the innkeeper on Tuesday kind of shit, right? So yeah, I think we're on that same boat there, Rob. But you and I are kind of like weird like that.
Well, for me, it depends on the character. For that character, I'd rather have stuck to one place. I have made characters who would have been happy with how Greg's campaign would have turned out. They would have been happy, be a happy-go-lucky itinerant adventurer going from place to place, seeking that perfect place so I can sell my 12,000 gold piece of magic item.
Yeah.
But I mean, you say what the referee needs versus the player. I mean, it's like, I find Rings of Power okay. You hate it with the passion of 1,000 suns, and
that's an understatement, actually.
But it's like that with anything with campaign. So the question, so I mean, obviously as referees, we have our personal interests. We don't want to just run anything. We want to run stuff that we find fun. Now, for me, I'm a little bit more flexible. What I find fun is the players finding a place in the world, and then I have fun developing that place, even though, okay, I didn't really think this campaign was going to be about the Guild of Basket Weavers, but they seem to be into it.
Yeah.
Let's see what the life of a basket weaver is like.
Yep. I like when it goes in those kind of directions. You never expect, like, why are they focusing on this? What the fuck? There's 87 plot hooks over here that are interesting, and they're focusing on the dung farmer or whatever.
Well, a great example was that I ran a GURPS campaign years back, and you never met Dan because he moved away from the area, which I don't know why he didn't hook up back up with Roll20, but it just didn't work out. Anyway, but I just rolled up this random counter with this drunk guy. And I role played it, and all of a sudden, Dan his character took an interest in this guy's life, and before I know it, half of the evening was spent with Dan interacting with this drunk guy and his family and his circumstance. And Dan actually left the town, making this guy's life a little bit better. And unfortunately, what I rolled was the guy had an alcoholism problem, so he didn't stick around long enough to fix that. But
sounds like a Lifetime movie of the week or something you described.
Yeah, I swear to God it was, but everybody had fun watching it, and everybody listening on what's going. And the way I do things, and you guys experience some of this in the city state, I do a round robin that I'll spend 10 minutes on you, and then I'll move on to the next person, spend 10 minutes on them, and keep it going, so you all have. So the whole game for the whole group progresses that night. So you're not all sitting there playing your smartphones or whatever. And so that's important, that if you're going to do these slice of life things and follow through follow the player wherever they go, then you got to make sure the other players don't get lost in the way too, and that they get their chance to do something proactive. And sometimes they just say, I'm just going to sit there and watch Dan interact with this drunk guy, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and so is Tim. That's the good part,
Well, I think that's one of the beautiful things of games like Ars Magica, which it's such a complex game that you have to really have a lot of player buy-in, but then the players will then drive it. They'll put so much energy into this particular guy, that particular guy, because they care. It's part of their, fall plan to do research, or that's part of what. Like, it's a complicated system like that. I've always been, I wish I had a way to run that without it being such a high buy-in from the players the way you need from Ars Magica, but I don't know of any solution.
Yeah. Did you guys run Keep on the Borderlands, or as a player, as a DM back in the day? Because I never did. Did you guys do it?
Maybe once.
Yeah, I ran it once with AD&D rules because I didn't play basic.
Yeah.
I didn't get it till I got my first basic set.
Yeah.
Which was at a discount store for I think $4.
Yeah.
And it had that clip on the side because they were destroyed and they were selling them. And I was like, oh well, the basic rules, fuck that. But Keep on the Borderland was useful. It was cool. It's like, oh, there's a whole starting area. You've got a couple of I don't know, sessions of gaming out of that.
Oh, easily. I didn't get into it or even know about it until 12 years ago. The OSR just said that because I didn't know there was a different basic than the Mensa Red Box. I didn't you know what I mean? I had a very short little knowledge about the early history of D&D, and I thought basic was the first, right? And then I get into the OSR and they're talking about this and that, and the little brown books. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Then I realized that it was the best-selling adventure, and the one I got with the game is Palace of the Silver Princess, which I thought was stupid, but it was the first thing I got. And I got to wonder how different my gaming experience would have been. In terms of the first thing you do is imprint it in your head as this is the way, the pattern, the whatever, right? So if I had Keep on the Borderlands rather than Palace of the Silver Princess, would have made me a better DM. I think the advice Gary gave in Keep on the Borderlands was great. That's great starting advice.
That's a good point too, because listen, my first session was a one-on-one session with my friend Kenny, running me through. He only had the Dungeon Master's Guide, so he had to make a phone call to find out if I leveled at the end of the set.
Yeah.
I played my fighter Cyrus, named I believe after Cyrus Vance. I mean, that's how nerdy a kid I was, naming it after a government official in the Carter administration.
And you're admitting this?
I'm admitting this, yes.
Wow.
So, so when I started actually running games, I started running games up in the Poconos, I guess the following summer, or summer or two. I didn't have this idea of a setting, right? We didn't have settings. Yeah. I didn't even know what a published adventure was, aside from what was in the DMG, which I studied numerous fucking times. And so everything is about something that's on graph paper. And then we got World of, and I got the Greyhawk Folio.
Yep.
And then years later, I got Keep on the Borderlands B2, and I went, oh wait, holy shit, this is
different.
This is the way to start a campaign.
Yep.
This is the way to have setting that actually means something.
Makes sense. Yeah, you're part of something. I look back at the Holmes box set again. Another thing I didn't get into until the OSR days, right? Early days. And I'm reading the adventure in the back of the Holmes box set is iconic for an entire, layer of people who started it within a couple year period of time. It's an iconic adventure, just like Palace of the Silver Princess or Keep on the Borderlands was. It was the one they used as their model, and it was looking back at it was pretty cool.
I'm gonna take the contrary. So as an intro module, the Keep on the Borderland, it's excellent with how Gygax write it. But as an adventure site,
it makes no sense. You're right.
It's
correct.
Stupid.
It is
because the way I run things. So when I first started running things, I was still a war gamer. I started out playing war games first, and then got into tabletop role playing, and so that valley where the Caves of Chaos is. When I first, I read it. I thought the keep was neat. I thought the little sandbox stuff was neat. I wish there were more of it, but it is what it was. Then I started reading the cave. Like, this makes a freaking death trap. All you have to do is stand right there, yell, and everything will become pouring out of those freaking holes, and the party's dead. The moment you get a fight in any one of those cave entries, the party's dead because everybody would be bum rushing them. I mean, there's no way to win that fight. And so even to this day, I don't understand people how run that module without the party dying in that valley, I just don't get it.
I started in second edition, so this was.
I was going to ask you, Greg, because your experience is must have been real different. What did you start with? Which era of second edition? The one like
Undermountain.
So, I mean, in terms of the second edition books, was it the newer second edition or the earlier one?
I still have it. It's the one with the barbarian on the cover, but bursting through.
On a horse? Was that the one?
No, it's
on a PHP.
No, it's a barbarian smashing down a door, and there's a dude with a bow.
Is it basically black or is it basically yellow?
It's black. Yeah,
black. Okay. So it's the second one. Let me see. I'm pulling it up now. Yeah, so it's the black one. So you started in the shittier art version. Same text basically, but shittier art. Yeah. Yeah.
So what was your starting adventure, Greg?
Yeah, what did you get into?
The first one was a box set for Undermountain.
Really? That was your starting adventure?
Yeah.
They have a level for first level?
No.
God.
Well, that was a lot of Highlands dead.
Yeah. So I mean, it was just kids effing around.
So hey, Eric. Yeah. Everybody cross off another off the bingo card. Can you share my screen? Oh, I gotta do it here, but I want to share my screen. Okay, present, share screen.
Dun 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 dun. There we go. Hold on. All right, you're being shared. You're being exposed.
Okay, so this is something I've been working off and on called Beyond the Borderland. And obviously, Keeping the Borderland is still owned by Wizards, so I can't officially make this a sequel to Keep on the Borderland. But if I hide this and expose this, you can see its exact relationship with the Keep on the Borderland.
That's what Joe Block did with Gary Gygax's Zagging Upperworks. He put, well, if you look at the entrances, coincidentally, from his basement to his, from his first level of the dungeon went up and matched pretty much exactly. So yeah.
So once I get my first few Majestic Fantasy projects out of the way, I'll probably finish fleshing this out. And so this will be like I'm not sure whether they're going to be an intro area or not, but it's going to be something. And but as an Easter egg, I made it compatible with the Keep on the Borderland map.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, Greg, what was your next one after that? Like, what about? Yeah. I mean, obviously, you're a little younger than us. What differences do you see playing with us that you could maybe attribute to editions or time we started? What would you say?
For me, like, even though I started with second edition, the main kind of feel of the time was storyteller, kind of coming into its own
vampire.
Yeah. And so what happened was along with a lot of video game development, you had DMs coming in with very clear ideas about how the game should go. And
you mean the adventure or the game played?
The game, the way everything needs to work this way, yeah. And so there was just a lot of kind of forcing people into this is the direction Deus Ex Machina type stuff where it's like the GM just has to have it end up a certain way so the monster, the bad guy, can just magically disappear no matter how well you prepare to trap him. You're along for the ride in the story, and then my reaction to that is what landed me in the OSR. It's going out like Eric and I disagree about the Quantum Ogre problem. Right, he has no problem with it. He sees it as
what do you mean?
No matter which road you take out of town, you're going to run into an ogre.
Okay. You think that's good or bad, right?
I think that's bad because I see it as maybe it's not a problem with one ogre, but eventually it leads to the GM having everything occur his way.
Yep.
Because that's the right way for it to occur. Like so
philosophically,
philosophically, I'm like, I don't even want to start doing that. You know,
Right.
let's just leave it the way. I'm not picking on you, Eric.
No, but I'm going to explain my position a little bit more because you have to remember, I run games in two different, I'll say worlds, but they're two different
eras.
Not even eras.
Milieus.
I run convention games. I run convention games.
Everybody's off.
Right. I run games at conventions, and I run games for our group on occasion. And when I'm running games at conventions, yeah, the Quantum Ogre exists because there's limited time.
I could see that as a justification.
As when I run games for my group, I am a lot more loosey-goosey. I'm not worried about the party can go off in whatever direction. I'll take a deck of cards out from Inkball Designs, and I'll pull out an adventure. I've done that when I was gaming out Long Island. I like the improv aspect of it. I can't improv at a convention, so I have to kind of like in the case of my at ShyCon, I had 3 levels of my adventure mapped out and ready to go, but each level had depending on where the party is and what the time is. This is where the final encounter happens. Here, or here.
Yep.
That's convention play. So I was running with you assholes. It would happen on the 3rd level in the back where it's supposed to happen, because if we took us 3 sessions to finish it off, it's not a big deal. So, but I have to adjust the way I look at it depending on whether it's a campaign play or whether it's a convention.
And I can understand. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of Quantum Ogres in like running an Alien module because it's a short time frame. You're thinking about things a different, particular way,
right?
But I get that. I just think that if we're going to have a best practice, the best practice should be X, not do whatever you want. So when it comes down to like actually writing something down, here's my position on this thing.
I'd be hard pressed to argue with.
Well,
yeah,
my view
tight on the Quantum Ogre issue.
So I hate the Quantum Ogres with a passion when I'm a referee. So I carefully choose the adventures I run at convention. I run, in a sense, the adventures I run are ringers. There's situations I know that the average party can easily resolve within the 4-hour time block, which then I arrived and I found out I only had 3 hours with Joe's group, and it's like, oh, this is going to be tight. So out goes character gen for them. And but even then, you guys were still running up the limit. You got totally lucky that you managed to resolve the module. And even then, I skimped on you guys searching the last part.
Yeah, that's right. It was like, here's what you found in the last 8 rooms, or whatever the hell it was, because there was no more fights there to happen. So you're not going to go through 20 minutes if I pull out the drawer.
But to be fair, you defeated everything after that fight. Would have been anticlimactic. There was no way. Yeah. With the way your party was organized, that the remaining opposition would have beaten you.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
But so you lucked out on that. If you would have taken a little longer in different areas, we probably would have run out of time. But on the other hand, the afternoon group, I had 4 hours. I didn't do character gen, so we got the game.
Oh, you didn't do that? I know you said you were going to try that, and I'm like,
I don't know. I got spooked about the 3-hour time limit, so I just used pre-gen, and
I think it's easier anyway,
And I don't think so, but anyway, that group completed the whole thing, and that Russet Lord adventure in an hour and a half.
Yeah, you're right. They beat it quickly. They ignored some of the other shit that we jumped into.
Right.
Yeah, but don't forget we were playtesting.
But the thing is, the way I structured the Russet Lord, they ended on a satisfactory note. They felt that how they ended it was what their characters would do. It just logically progressed, and that really is the goal of my adventure. That regardless of the outcome, it is the place that you felt your decision led you to, and that
certainly fair, and that's the way it should be. I mean, I have run most of my convention games that I have run as a representative of Frog Guy Games. So I am running a session. Like when I was running Mouth of Doom with 3D terrain on the table, I had to change the way I was running stuff because I had to move fast. I couldn't let my players.
Here we go.
Yeah, I know. Matt's here. So, but especially when I was running games for Frog God Games as a representative, you want to make sure that your party has as much fun as they're going to have. You want to make sure that, and that even if it means killing players, player characters. And I've certainly had killed my share. I want to make sure that my group is having fun, and sometimes it means that you adjust something. Not the way all right. This group enjoys what more? They're enjoying the role play more than the rolling dice. All right, well then we're gonna have more encounters. There's gonna be more parlaying. I'll make those adjustments based upon the group. When I'm running with the knuckleheads that are on the screen here, I already know what rings your bell for the most part. I know what this party is going to do, which is usually nothing that's ever intended on the map.
Friendly and gentle communication.
Yeah, it's like herding cats and then some. But I understand this group, right? When you're running a convention game, it's generally a bunch of strangers that you don't know and they don't know each other. So that interaction that you guys are good at, because you're an established group, they will have to try to learn in the course of 3 or 4 hours. It's rough. So
of course, there's the one I ran at the Middle Earth game. I ran at Con and a Cobb, and that guy was bitching to the point where Tim threatened to have a Tim moment on him.
Let me guess. There was something that came out of Tim's mouth that went along the lines of "shut the fuck up," or else. Kind of there was like the implied "or else" in there somewhere, right, Rob? I guess if I can see it right now.
and his tension was risen up because Tim was a ringer. He was under the influence. He was an agent of Sauron.
Yeah.
And the other players and the party was wreck. Everybody was fleeing, and it just didn't. The bad guys won that convention.
Eric,
the other players loved it.
Eric, what are you going to do now that Frog God split off with what's his name with Swords and Wizardry? Are they going to go OSE at cons now? Is that going to be their
Frog God is going OSE? That's the OSR system that they are backing, but I believe they're also publishing a title for Castles and Crusades, if I'm not wrong.
I did see something about that. It was interesting. I saw on the Troll Lords had one of their Twitch things or something, or a YouTube thing, and they were talking to the Frog guys and Troll guys, and the Frog guys were happy because the Troll guys are going to be putting stuff out into their system, which was kind of cool, I thought, man.
Yeah, well, those two companies have always been close, at least person wise.
Yeah,
they've always been companies that have always
same vibe.
Yeah,
same. Who is Frog God, Eric? Right? I mean, who were the guys in it?
Okay.
I know there's a lot of employees, but who are the owners? I actually don't know.
The main man is Bill Webb.
Okay.
The chief operating officer, so basically the one who keeps the day-to-day going, and does, I guess, the grunt work, would be Zach Laser.
Okay.
So yeah, Bad Mike is saying Bill Webb, Zach Laser. Those are your main two.
Okay.
Now,
so you're not a main character in their TV series?
I am not a main character. I'm not even a supporting character. I'm an occasional guest star.
He's a guest star, yeah. He's the guy in the Love Boat, goes on every couple of years.
It's like, hey, just remember, I'm just still here. Remember, I did that.
Just a reminder: when we get off, when we're done talking about this topic, we have a question from.
Yeah, I know. I left it up.
All right.
It's a good question.
Matt, to you. What's up, man?
But
we'll see.
Yeah. So
here, by the way.
Here's the stockholders. I'm glad that it includes Bad Mike, Ken Spencer, Edwin Nagy, Casey Christopherson. So, and of course, the two names I already mentioned. So, those are the ones that have shares. Those are the ones that can vote. There's also a number of people that are employed some more or less full time, some are freelancers with Frog God.
Okay.
Frog God is approaching conventions differently than it did before COVID.
Yeah.
Before COVID, they were already downsizing their convention staff, basically. So now I no longer go to conventions on the dime of the frogs.
Oh, the heresy.
I know it hurts. But here, let me go back to the question.
What's the overlap before you get off this? I'm just always been curious. What's the overlap? I know Bad Mike owns and runs North Texas, right?
He's a co-owner of North Texas. Yes.
Anybody else is Frog God sort of co-owner of North Texas? Or was just Bad Mike and a few other guys, and Bad Mike's the only crossover between the two organizations?
Yeah, so Mike's saying that's the heart of Frog God Games. A lot of the freelancers, including Tom House. But Frog God has its annual shareholder meeting at North Texas.
Gotcha, makes sense.
Okay, when Frog God was having a large presence at conventions, their southern warehouse was basically the North Texas RPG con warehouse. So I mean. Is there overlap? Yeah, I mean, honestly, if the convention was here, like Mike said, Frog God is the sponsor of North Texas, but when it says sponsor, they're a huge backer, not just monetarily, but in everything that they do. Support the convention.
There always seemed like so much of an overlap there. You know what I mean? I was always wondering about the actual, the situation.
So North Texas is owned by Bad Mike, Gary Oliver, and Doug Ray's son, David.
Gotcha. Okay, that's good to know. I was always interested about that.
All right, so now
we had a question.
So we have an audience question.
Yes, to the panel. What environment is your setting? Newly discovered continent, reclaimed apocalypse, conquering a wild frontier. I'm going to say that with Rob, it's all the above because he's probably written them all.
Yeah. Yes, it's basically a medieval fantasy world that ranges from Spain to the Eurasian frontier in Russia, from the cold reaches of Norway down to the desert hinterland of North Africa. There's equivalents to all those areas I mentioned in the majestic waterland. And the only thing that isn't really well representative is tropical rain jungle forest. It's just I have my main campaign area is about the size of Western Europe, so it doesn't quite reach down that far south.
Where did the Aztecs touch you?
There's a lot of jungle fantasy, so not sure where the Aztec crack came from.
I'm just teasing.
Wow.
And Matt
Rob said jungle fantasy.
Matt, what is your setting?
I always go with like a generic frontier because I've always thought the American frontier was probably in modern history one of the more amazing. Can you imagine being on the East Coast and having no idea what was west of there? And literally every mile you go west is the first time, I guess a white man, but whatever. The first civilization. I'm sure that'll get a bunch of.
Yeah, you're just stop talking, man.
I'm gonna get that whole.
I'm sorry, as colonial bastards.
Yeah, the Wild West was fun, except for all the murdering and genocide.
Oh, here we
go. That's human history. The same shit happened when there were a bunch of Indians running around.
Yeah, it's not like France was unified by love.
Yeah, no shit.
Don't lose your head over that. Okay?
But anyway, I would say a frontier because I think that is the most exciting. It's there was like an ancient kingdom there, so there's ruins and all that garbage, but a wild frontier that used to be civilized and is now being reclaimed. I think that's the most interesting because it affords the most opportunity for mystery, treasure, strange monsters, strange magic, that kind of stuff.
I've been doing
not so that I'm like a little boy, equal opportunity here. The Russian expansion across Central Asia and Siberia has a suitably bloody history as well, and epic tales of settlement across all the way to
Genghis Khan, man. Him and his little clones captured like 2/3 of the world and murdered like millions of people.
This is true, but I was talking about the expansion of the Russian Empire.
Oh yeah, the Russians were bad too, but I think I read somewhere like Genghis Khan's conquering of Asia and like Middle East and all that, and India and all that, like killed like 1/3 of the population of the planet, maybe 1/4 or something. I mean, can you imagine that? One kingdom is responsible for like decapitating 1/3 of the population of the planet. It's fucking
well, what's even more amazing is it wasn't a kingdom. It was literally a group of nomadic, advanced nomadic tribes.
That ain't shit.
I wonder if that's what orcs are based on.
That ain't shit. Fucking little fucking germs killed even more than that back in the plague days.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, even think about it.
Yeah, the Black Death killed like what, 1/4 of the population of
it
took them like 3 decades to get back to
a bunch of fucking flea-bitten rats knocking out Europe,
What? If you're talking to Black Death, Europe didn't recover until the 18th century.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was a lot of time. I don't know.
Well, now, if we're talking like settings, and we're talking like these dark, dank settings, the one setting from 3rd edition that I really wish I had played 3rd edition, if I could have a chance to play in the setting, was Midnight.
Well,
the Midnight setting was a setting.
Never heard of this.
Okay, it's coming back to 5th edition, by the way.
What?
I've never heard of this.
Okay, so
it was like the first fan-based one, wasn't it?
Well, Midnight is a setting, and now there were 2 3rd edition settings that I really dug and was collecting. Midnight was one, and oh god, was it?
All right, I'm going to cut you off, Eric.
What?
Joe, Midnight is Middle Earth if Sauron won.
Yes, exactly.
Middle Earth. What? Oh, okay. I'm looking at it now on Wikipedia.
So yeah, so basically, you are fighting for survival. So you really have, and small wins mean a huge thing because you're probably never ever going to see a big win. Okay, so Midnight is a dark setting. It's coming back. There's a 5th. I actually backed the Kickstarter for the 5th edition one, and I don't touch 5th edition, but I was like, I got to get back into this one. And there's another one. God, I'm having a single moment. I think it was Fantasy Flight Games, a dragon based one, which was kind of like Planescape, not Planescape, kind of like Spelljammer, but with like dragons, and it died when we went to 3.5 because it was just too much for them to adjust the setting. I wish I could remember. I still have those books in my other room.
I might have to invest in a Google search for this.
Yeah, but I got my head of you, Joe.
Yeah.
Midnight was a fun setting to read because you could really see that your players would get very invested in this.
This is cool because what I'm doing now. They even
have a pilot.
A what?
A 1-hour pilot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
What do you mean a pilot? Like a show? What do you mean? A basic intro adventure?
Like a movie or something. I think I remember seeing that.
You're right.
And it's not the greatest fantasy in the world, but as far as conveying how the setting was, it was pretty. It was effective.
This is interesting. I like it.
All right.
There's a trailer. Yeah.
Midnight, the 5th edition PDF is up on DriveThru. Thank you, Rob, for the link.
Oh, okay.
Didn't Midnight do like some sort of crowdfunding or something? I feel like they did crowdfunding.
They did crowdfunding for the 5th edition one, but the original was before crowdfunding.
I keep thinking it was like fan based or something, like it was fan written.
I don't know about that. But
I remember it wasn't like a major house that put it out. It was like
it wasn't.
No, it took place during the D20 boom.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but it was quite a big production that it was produced. That it was like a big deal that this small publisher.
Fantasy Flight Games. They had a lot of shit. Fantasy Flight back then. They were one of the big D20 guys. Yeah.
So I have the link to the show.
That's cool, man. I'll take this after the show. But it's interesting because I might be able to use this because what I'm doing now, I think I said it before, my setting, I guess you could say, is the Forgotten Realms, but I've been breaking the shit out of it ever since I started over 4 years ago. And so now I only use the gray box, the first edition AD&D gray box, and a couple of the earlier supplements, and everything else I kind of I stole bits and pieces from everything else and made it and then broke it. And then it's going from like a big grand heroic age into the new campaign is going to be more of a dark age. And I think this Midnight might give me some evil ideas to screw everybody over with. So it might be fun.
I forgot this was a full movie, 1 hour and 39 minutes.
Jesus Christ, really?
Yeah, it's got almost 1.3 million views.
I was really disappointed. It like I said, it's not the greatest fantasy, but it left me. I wanted to see the sequel. I wanted to see where the story went.
Yeah.
Wow, but we really got to take Rob's opinion of film sort of with a grain of salt.
We already delved into those waters.
Oh, did we? Okay, sorry.
Slightly into the Lord of the Rings. Sucks. Yeah. No, we can get into it deeply. So, yeah.
All right. You will be happy to know that I've started watching Reacher and I like it.
All right. So you got
some good taste.
But once you say you're good on the Terminal List, Cobra Kai, and
I already watched.
You gotta watch Terminal List, man. Reacher is good, but
I already watched Terminal List. I watched that a year ago.
Oh,
did you like it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
A year ago?
Whatever. A month after it came out. Sorry, a month after it came out.
Yeah, it was good. Reacher. I really liked Reacher. They're filming the new one, and I think the big dude, I don't know what his name is, put on like 5 or 10 more pounds of muscle, so he's gonna be even bigger.
Wow. He was jacked.
I
was.
saw that article.
Drinking steroids, this guy. Jesus, man. I tell you, this underrated one of those COVID shows. You know, that you watch, you're like, what's on? Nothing. Let me start an entirely new series to binge, kind of deals. And I heard about Yellowstone toward the end. I'm like, check this out. I blew through all the seasons. I'm like, give me more.
When did you watch Yellowstone? I saw 1883, and I want to know more. See if it's any good.
I didn't see that one. I just saw the original. I like the original.
I really like 1883. So
Sam Elliott's in it. I mean, you can't not like it if Sam Elliott's in it.
Oh, Sam Elliott's awesome in the.
I saw the episodes that were free, and then I'm a cheap ass, so I didn't get Paramount Plus.
Dude, just get on HBO. Go to Amazon. And you buy a season for $20, and then you got it forever.
That's what actually. When I think it was when I had my heart attack. My boss was a huge Yellowstone fan, and I just kind of ignored him. And when I was in the hospital recovering from a heart attack, I was like, "Fine." He kept nagging me about it, and he's like, "You got all this time watching." I think it had been like 3 episodes were out, or 3 seasons were out then. Man, I blew through them in like 2 days. I stayed up it's awesome. I will say this last season, it was kind of a cleanup season. Like, it tied up a lot of loose ends, but there wasn't a lot of, oh my God, excitement. And but the next season, have you seen the trailer?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen the trailer yet.
What show are you talking about?
Yellowstone, the original.
Yeah, he wins the governorship, it looks like, and then he
nice.
goes to war, it looks like. So
that's awesome, man.
I mean,
all right, explain to me. Why do I see explosions associated with Yellowstone? What the hell is going on that they're blowing shit up?
No, they're just Yellowstone, dude. That's how they roll.
I don't think it was I just meant like action.
Yes, I seen clips on YouTube, and there's explosions, and it's associated with the show a lot.
Have you never seen Yellowstone
up there? I don't know. There's terrorists and shit.
Have you never seen it?
No.
Oh, yeah, they had like domestic terrorists, and the last one was like a gang or something. The last season.
It's on NBC, so I don't have access to NBC on any of the streaming I watch.
Tell you know what I liked? I saw what I never liked, but people told me I would was Deadwood.
Oh my God, you've never watched Deadwood?
I tried 3 times. I got like 4 episodes in. Each time I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
I mean, I hate to be a dude, but there's boobs, there's gunfights, there's cowboys.
Yeah, I know.
What is there not to like, Joe?
I don't know. I've never been. The only westerns I ever got into, honest to God, was The Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood and Tombstone with Val Kilmer. I've never liked any other western ever.
Okay.
Whoa.
Did you like The Mandalorian?
I like The Mandalorian. Yes.
No, Clint.
Yeah.
Oh, Andor. Andor's awesome.
And Matt, before you and you know why it's a Western? Because the fucking sheriff from Deadwood is the fucking sheriff.
Yep.
In The Mandalorian.
I caught that too. I caught that reference.
Right.
That was interesting.
And then if you watch Justified, he's a badass in Justified too.
Never saw Justified.
Oh, you've never seen it? Oh man, it's like
my son watched that.
He'll walk up and he'll be like, "Take one more step, and I'm going to shoot you." And the guy's like, "Oh, come on!" He takes one more step, bam.
You know how I heard of Justified is on The Good Place. There was one season where the God, who's a woman, the judge, and she has the hot for Timothy Oliphant. And one episode, she ports him in, and they actually had the actor there in his Justified outfit. And I thought, oh, you kind of like the actor. I wonder what his show's like. And I never got around to watching it. But
oh, Matt, before we forget, I took a note here. Harn must be at least several spots on your bingo card for Rob. We've decided he says it so much.
I don't want to talk about the bingo card. I sent you guys all the bingo card, and you guys all ignored it.
I said it was good, and I give you most of the words.
Okay, so the new entry on the bingo card is Matt is butthurt, so we better put that on there.
Yes, that is true. Rob, that was good, Rob.
Fire, yeah.
Nice
Damn.
So we got to add Harn in there?
At least a couple spots, Matt. It's got to have a Harn because Harn is going to be like the whammy, the Joker. It's the wild card. You feeling it? You know what I mean? He says it so much. So yeah, sharing the screen. I think you got that. I sent you a big list. I think you put most of them in there. We got to finish it up. Maybe for the next show we got the bingo card live. You know,
Lord of the Rings RPG is back into play. You know, Venture of Middle Earth in the form of Lord of the Rings RPG is back, so that might be a thing too. You know how much I like that.
Lord of the Rings, yeah, or just Lord of the Rings, period. I mean, yeah, that'll work. Oh God, that disgusting series. Anyway, Jesus Christ. I tell you what, I'm going to
do better, but
better. They need.
There are things in life other than TV.
No. Not when it comes to this. Not when it comes to the destruction of a man's legacy. Look,
Joe. There's no rational way of discussing Ring to Power, Joe. He spends more time watching criticism of it.
Oh, I love it.
That's watching the show.
That is the greatest part of my Friday. I get up in the morning hating life because I got to, get up at stupid o'clock in the morning, get ready, take a shower, go to work, blah, blah, blah. But I put on all these reviews of Rings of Power, and I'm sitting in the shower laughing. I'm driving to work laughing.
Don't worry.
Energized.
You have one or two more weeks of this because they're all going to do their season recap. So they criticize the whole season at once.
Yeah, so that's my Friday routine. I'm going to be sad. I'm just going to have to be just plain old miserable on Fridays now that I'm not going to have this stuff to get me going in the morning, Man, but I tell you what was a good show was the new Game of Thrones show, the whatever the Clash is, whatever the hell it's called. What's it called? I always forget. I just call it the new Game of Thrones all the time. Whatever the hell it's called.
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a show that is excellently acted, excellently plotted, but you just don't give a shit about any of the characters.
Are you kidding? I love them all, Rob. I love the evil ones. I love the good ones. I love them all.
Rob, they go through they jump time frames so much that it's like, wait, that's the guy who was like 8 years old in the last episode.
Who doesn't like
20?
Well, to be clear, Matt, I don't mind the time jump. I just can't. It's hard for me to root for the characters.
Well, yeah, you never get to spend. I feel like they jump around so much time-wise. Not, if you watch the original Game of Thrones, they jumped around a lot from characters and locations. But in this one, they seem to just jump time so much that I really don't feel like I'm connected to any of the characters that much.
I don't feel that way at all. I feel completely different. Yeah, I like it because I'm filling in the gaps in my head. My head canon is filling in all the spaces for the last 8 years and the last 4 years as to what made Rhaenyra now, one way at the beginning and one way now, and seeing the details. And yeah, I'm digging it, man. I love. Who doesn't like?
For me, I know the historical period that Martin ripped off for the basic plot structure of the Dance of the Dragon quite well. So I know who all these characters represent in that and their own personal histories. And they were just as much assholes as the ones on the show.
It's power, man. I mean, but I think they're fantastic. I think they're so well done. I mean, Matt Smith's character, Damon, dude, I mean, he had the most badass scene. My brother and I were watching that the other night when it came out. We're sitting on the couch and we're like, we both jumped up. Yeah, like the Giants just won the fucking Super Bowl and shit,
So I find it funny. I still find it funny in the first few weeks. Wow, Matt Smith is doing an awesome job. He's like the Elric I didn't think I needed.
Yes.
But I do.
Yeah. So many people can compare him. I mean, they're all like Elric, right? But him especially. It's awesome.
Yeah, he could play Elric of Mellowbone if in a heartbeat, after that performance.
I know. I wish they would do it, actually. I wish they would do something like that. But I don't know who. I mean, Moorcock is still kicking. He has the rights to it. I've never heard of anything in the works for Elric, which is really surprising me because there's a few fantasy series out there. I know they're looking. They want Lord of the Rings. They want this and that. They want the big names, right? They want their new Game of Thrones. But you have Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser, which may not be politically correct in this environment, but it's out there, right? You have Elric, which can be done awesomely. You have Feist's Magician series. At least the first 4 books were fantastic, which could be adapted well, I think. These are, I mean, they blew Shannara. They blew the Wheel of Time. They just sucked. But there's so much other shit out there.
They did okay with the Sword of Truth. It's called Legend of the Seeker.
Oh, I don't know.
Didn't see that.
The actors did the plot was a bit, B grade, but the actors really did a good job. I really like the actors in it.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of potential, just untapped. It's just I wish they would do something with it, man. But then not fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up. God.
Please.
I'd rather not have it done.
I think this season 1 of Ring of Power is going to be viewed like season 1 of Babylon 5.
See, Rob, this is why you need to play video games, because if you don't like the video game, you can just mod it to be the way you want it.
That's true. I used to do that with Doom too.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like, hey, this character, just delete them.
Yeah, I was messing around with Doom 2 the other day, just to play because I got it on Steam. I'm like, God, this is still fun because it's also the only game. That's where my gaming peaked. A couple buttons and a mouse, I'm done.
Have you ever played Rise of the Triad?
No,
it was the same time frame as Doom. Yeah? Doom 2, and it's out there now. You can get it from some of the. I think it's on GOG.com. And it's almost identical gameplay to that. You can get the old Unreals, and you can get
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein, and all kinds.
Are you talking about Good Old Gaming?
Yeah,
they're awesome store. They've been around for a while now, and I have a bunch of titles. I have all the old AD&D Gold Edition.
Yeah, I got to start playing them. I was like, oh, I picked up all this crap. It even had Hillsfar, which sucked.
Really?
Oh my God.
Hillsfar sucks. Compared to the other Gold Bar, that was a real letdown when I got that one.
Did you guys play Zork back in the day? Zork 1, the text game. Did you like that shit?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Go up, go down.
You have been
when Zork was the cutting edge. I started out with my brother bought a TSR Model 1 Trash 80 with the 64K expansion bus.
Damn, we spoiled bitches.
Yeah. Anyway,
I had my VIC 20 with 5K.
So shortly after that, my parents started their metal cutting business, making metal cutting machines, and that used a $10,000 workstation PC, which was pretty nice for the time. And even though it didn't have any games, I learned how to program with it at home, and then I went to college, and all I dealt with in college was for the first couple years was mainframes and mini frames.
There you go. Here's the. Can you make it bigger, Matt?
All right. Everybody said, Matt, you did a great job. Awesome. We really like it. Come on, Eric.
All right. Eric drinks drive through. Joe mentioned strippers. I have no
alcohol this time.
Tankies, TSR. Greg shows up.
I show up a lot.
Dyson. Rob digs for a book. I like that one. Gygax Swords and Wizardry. Greyhawk. Rob shares his screen. Yes. Zork. What does that say? What's
Zine?
Zine. You spelled it wrong. You said it like
no. He's spelling it like I pronounce.
Oh, all right. I see. Oh, that's good. That's good. Harn.
Matt complains. You got Matt is butthurt in there. Good job, Matt.
Yep, Matt. LARP. Bad Mike appears. Yes. Blog.
Yes.
Labyrinth Lord. I don't know. I don't know about that.
That's a hard one.
Ladder module. Matt is butthurt. Lanasa. LARP. We got LARP a couple times. We got 2 LARPs. Tim shows up. Old School Essentials, AD&D, Common Sense. How about How about where do orcs take a shit? How about that one?
Wait, what?
Where do orcs take a
yeah,
shit?
that's more suited for this. Or
Get rid of common sense and go where orcs take a shit.
It's common sense has got to go on there, though.
Yeah.
You think? All right.
Common sense instead of Lenasty.
Use your common sense.
Yeah. Oh, that's where it's coming from. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. That makes common sense to have that in there, Ian. Use your common sense. All right. We're taking suggestions, everybody. Now, Matt, there's got to be a program that would randomize like 10 versions of these words on a bingo card.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't do programming, so I'm not doing
No. I'm saying there's got to be some website. You plug it in, out comes the answers. You know what I mean? You just randomize the X amount of words.
I need another non-LARP thing. I got 2 LARP.
All right. Looking for suggestions, guys. What else you got?
Wiki has one, Quantum Ogre.
Woke. Oh, woke. Should we have woke or are we going to go?
No, I want to steer away from woke.
Is OSR in there? Oh, is OSR in there?
Oh, wow.
Maybe OSR should.
OSR's got to go there.
OSR.
It's a modern piece of media. I don't disagree with everyone. Only the people only the people who disagree with me, Mike. That's the only people I disagree with.
What about mention of page count?
How about appeal? How about appeal to the exiguous?
OSR. Russet Lord.
Russet Lord.
That would be a hard one.
Yeah, Russet Lord.
Yeah.
Potato.
Potato. Yes, potato. Really.
Just potato or Russet Lord?
I have to come up with another sandbox.
Russet Lord / potato or potato.
Parentheses potato. You can put that
Yes.
Potato.
Okay.
Yeah. We got Dyson. Rob digs for a book.
Dang it.
This is good. Did you spell russet right? You ignorant.
Yes.
All right. I can't see
You're
that
ignorant.
close. What? I can't see that close. My eyes are shot, man. I can't see. I'm like I'm 5 inches from my screen.
So Matt, are the affinity software your main go-to for stuff?
Yes. I love it. It's excellent. It works great. It's not stupid or expensive.
I like this.
Is that good?
I like it. I like it.
There's only one thing missing from this.
What?
A ladder.
Oh, that's in there.
It's right there.
Right there.
Oh, I can see it. Okay.
Yeah. All right. We got the bingo card. Lord of the Rings, everything's. Yeah, we're good, I think. We're good. This is it, guys. 5e. No, there's no 5e. Fuck 5e.
We just got to upload it to a website and Eric pin a comment to it in front of every.
Yeah. You download your bingo card, and whoever has bingo card 1 through 7 or whatever, and everybody who has like number X, number 3, for example, one night would all win. That sort of thing.
What would they win?
I don't know. What would they win?
I don't know yet.
About like you have those like $5 fucking drive-through RPG certificates or whatever.
Oh, I could do that.
$1 or $5, whatever hell, you know what I mean?
$5.
Yeah, $5 to get your PDF. You know what I mean? That might be fun.
By the way, Rob, I got some Lake Erie Candy Company stuff in your honor, and it tastes like crap. Just want to let you know.
Well,
I live in Meadville. Why give a shit about Erie?
I'm just
anything made with Lake Erie water is going to taste like shit.
This is supposed to be maple balls, and
maple balls. What?
I'd like some. I'm surprised you admitted to saying that word.
Hey, I thought it was going to be like there's a Canadian thing called maple balls that are really good. Apparently, when they come from Lake Erie Candy Company, they suck. So sorry.
They suck maple balls? Is that what you're saying?
The secret is the water.
They're really small, Joe. They're about your size.
Oh my!
Oh,
all right. Speaking of balls, Matt, why are you in a red light?
If you want, I live in the county with the highest COVID rate in the state now. So,
am I supposed to feel sorry for you?
COVID is still a thing.
Apparently here.
Who's had it here? I had it once.
COVID? Is that what you're saying?
COVID. Anybody have it more than once?
Nope.
Rob, I thought you did. How many times? What are you up to? 2? Yeah. Greg, did you get it yet or no?
I started testing positive for it at one point, but I never got sick.
Really?
All right. So you're part of the crew now. You're just like a lamer part of the crew. You didn't have COVID. You just
pussy COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I do get a lot of that.
Oh Lord.
But
Oh God, it's a matter of where you work. I think it's not a matter of mask. It's how much you're forced into contact with people.
right.
Yeah, I work from home.
Masking helps, but
yeah, but still, your environment, your tight quarters. I mean, you're gonna,
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing that Rachel no longer has to take a train to work.
Yeah.
Because she'd be testing positive probably every 3 months, and I'd be going, "Oh, that means I'm going to get it again." That's just.
Let's just say I was watching Connecticut's COVID rate like a hawk before I decided to go there. And when I drove out there, I was very careful not where I stopped.
Yeah. I appreciate that, because who knows what kind of cross-country COVID diseases y'all would have brought up here,
Yeah, I still haven't been in the movie theater since 2019. So
I went a couple times, but
that's because most of the movies they've released have sucked ass.
Yeah, that's
Thank
true.
you.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind seeing Top Gun Maverick.
I agree. I missed that one. It was in theater so fucking long, and I still missed it.
I mean, I know it's not going to be a great movie, but the visuals on the big screen. Now,
a lot of abs on the beach. I know, Rob. A lot of abs on the beach.
I know it's not going to be a great movie. I'm sure it's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's got original ideas, like
a
guy flying a plane down a trench in order to hit a small target at the end without a guidance system. I mean, who can think of ideas like that? I mean, it's so original.
Tom Cruise ejects out of a space plane going Mach 17. Yeah, like he's going to survive that.
Oh, dude, that's just a good old. From what I understand, my brother told me the plot. It just sounds like a great movie. It's like you let go and just enjoy the shit because it's an old school kind of 80s fucking man's movie. You know what I mean? You just takes you back kind of thing. I look forward to watching it. Yeah,
you guys have a very different different memory of the 80s than I do.
Oh, we knew they were cheese, but we enjoyed the cheese, Rob. They were fun.
What's wrong with cheese?
Cheese is good sometimes. Any of those Arnold movies and Chuck Norris movies and the Rambos they're all cheese, man.
When I retired, I told myself I was going to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy as like a marathon.
Yeah.
6 years ago, I still haven't done it, but I've watched Horn 3 times.
You watched what?
Not Horn, no, Hawk the Slayer.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand the love of that film.
What about Iron
Eagle? Seen Hawk the Slayer? Eric, you're saying you saw Hawk the Slayer?
I watched it 3 times in the last.
Good for you.
In the last 6 years. Once was it was the Mystery Science Theater 3000 version, which was not as funny as it should have been, but still amusing.
All right, so Eric, have you watched Excalibur yet?
Not since it first came out. So
what?
Really?
How about Robin of Sherwood? Any of the episodes?
No.
I tried that.
Your 80s mojo's not complete. Fantasy mojo's not complete.
How about? Well, listen. I will say this: I haven't rewatched Lady Hawk either. So how about that?
Oh, you're failing me, man.
What is Lady Hawk?
What?
I've never
Are
seen
you like
Lady Hawk.
27 or something?
I've never seen it either.
Never heard of Lady Hawk.
I had never heard of Hawk the Slayer until Eric a couple of years ago talking about it. I'm like, what the fuck is this movie you're talking about?
I'd never heard of it either. And after watching it, I realized why. But
exactly.
Jack Palance is the movie. You just gotta look.
I don't know. It's Crow for me.
James George, the guy that did Pits and Perilous, just sings its praises all the time. Just loves it. And I always give him shit because I can't stand the stupid show.
I'll tell you what, my penultimate 2 movies for I associate with 80s and D&D. 2 movies, Conan and The Highlander. Even though The Highlander wasn't D&D, there were swords involved. I thought it was cool as fuck. So Conan and The Highlander are my 2 D&D movies of the 80s. What do you? I
never thought of Highlander like D&D, but Conan and Excalibur I did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, Robin of Sherwood was very deep.
Yeah. No, that I think Robin of Sherwood had a lot of influence on my early games because there was a lot of wilderness exploration, that kind of stuff. I love that was a great.
Did you put a Herne the Hunter in your game?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
See, I think an 80s movie involves explosions, submachine guns,
Well, yeah.
Terrorists, maybe bad guys that are clearly bad guys.
Oh yeah, black
that
hats
are
and all.
massacred in large numbers by the hero, who suffers no psychological problems as a result.
All right, where does everybody fall? Wait, speaking of 80s fantasy, where does everybody fall on Legends?
Legends is my favorite film of all.
Oh, you're cool. You're cool.
Never saw the movie.
What?
Never saw it. Is the dude with the big Satan head thing, right?
Jim Curry or Tim Curry.
Yeah,
I saw it.
I saw.
Well, make sure you watch the one with the Tangerine Dream music, okay?
You know what? Right before I fell off the ladder, which if you have the bingo card, you'd be doing it. I ordered the quintessential penultimate DVD version of Legend, and it actually came in the mail while I was in the hospital. My family put it away, and I had no idea that I totally forgot about it, and I found it about 3 weeks ago. I just haven't had a chance to watch it.
Oh, that's always
got all the versions of it. Yeah, let me go grab it real quick because it looks kind of cool.
Oh, so you're wearing pants, right, Matt? All right, good. Sorry. Good. 50-50 at Tidy Whitey's there. Just saying. What was yours, Eric? What were your I gotta say, it's got to be Hawk the Slayer. The way you talk about it, right?
Hawk the Slayer, Conan, Dark Crystal, because it was just.
What about Labyrinth? Where everybody falls here on Labyrinth?
Labyrinth.
Never saw it.
I saw it, like probably on like VHS, which means I probably saw it like 20 plus years ago. I haven't seen it since.
Greg, VHS is a tape format where you stick a cassette.
Okay. Now, what's interesting to me is I don't think of fantasy as a movie setting at all. I think of fantasy as pen and paper setting, as a board game setting, as a video game setting, particularly as a video game setting. I don't think of it for movies at all. For movies, to me, the 80s is action, bling, shoot 'em ups, explosions. I don't associate any of those.
To be clear, Greg,
at all.
Most of the fantasy compared to later movies, fantasy movies, they sucked. Okay, I mean,
I don't know of any later age fantasy movies that are that great.
I mean,
not just bring a whole bottle of something. What the hell?
And Lord of the Rings,
motherfucker.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy might be the only fantasy films that I think are any good, and they're taken from a book. They're not original. It's not like they made them for film.
From the 70s though, Wizards. I haven't seen that since. Again, I just got the a couple days ago. I just paid for it on Amazon for $10, so I can rewatch Wizards, the animated.
With the two brothers.
Yeah, with Mark Hamill as the voice of one.
Heavy Metal. That was
Heavy Metal. I was about to say that, Rob. That's a movie I didn't see until much later in life, but it would have been in my list had I seen it in the 80s.
Oh, that is neat, Matt. Let me see that cover again.
Yeah, it's not even opened yet.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Like I said, I literally ordered it. It's
now, how many versions they have of the film now? I know.
Hold on. I don't know. I'm opening it right now.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, can you make Mac bigger on the screen? Yeah.
And then it's got. Ooh.
We have a live unboxing here.
Yes. Look, Tim, all the corners.
Yeah, nothing bent, Tim.
It's got one. It's got a director's cut, U.S. theatrical cut, it says. And then it's got, like a poster? Shit, I've had this for a year and never opened it.
You got a poster.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool, your bed.
Oh, that's the original poster.
You can put that on your bunk bed, man.
Oh, yeah.
The girls that's what it was. Bunk bed.
The reason I like Legends because to me it's like a very well executed fairy tale.
Oh, and it's got like a little book.
Oh, I gotta say one more. I gotta add one more movie into the 80s cool movies. I don't know if it was in the 80s per se, but it fits. Willow.
Oh, we get Willow.
Yeah, somebody said that in the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, how about Flash
Gordon? Wiki.
Oh, I love Flash
to me, the most impressive part of the Willow was that the Warriors actually used formation tactics.
Really?
Wasn't looking rough.
Yeah, just wouldn't say that part. No.
Come on,
these postcards. I don't know what these are.
You know, we got all the in the Middle Earth movies.
Just so you know, guys, I have to go in 5 minutes.
That's probably
it's about time anyway. Whoa, you got pictures. Look at this. They're pretty
cool. Little like
blow it up again, Eric. Let me see.
Hold on. I just heard that Joe said he wants to.
Yes, Joe wants to blow with this. He wants to blow.
I thought it was you.
Yeah.
You know what? They did the goblins excellent. They
really
did the
good,
goblins well in Legend.
Big D. I loved Big D. Every demon after this looked exactly like this.
He's pretty cool, I gotta say.
It's an awesome.
Oh, those guys were good.
Yeah. Brown Tom, I think one of them's name was. That guy was pretty cool too. The little.
I might have to watch this. This does look pretty cool.
Well, in a I think about a nod to Tolkien, this guy was an elf that had been like mutated or something.
Okay.
I believe. And of course, I mean, come on. Who didn't think she was the hottest fucking thing in the 80s ever? This little
she even took a day off.
She what?
She even took a day off with Ferris.
Yes, she did.
That's her.
And then Una, the little fairy or whatever, and then Blix again.
Oh, he's pretty cool.
Joe, it's $3 to rent on Amazon.
Yeah, I might give it a shot. What the hell? There's things I know that I've missed. Like we talk like this, and every time we do, I realize there's shit I just missed. You know, it was just a matter of what was in my shitty little video store in my neighborhood. It's really what it comes down to. You know, I didn't see it in the movies. I was never aware of anything going on in popular culture. So it's just if I saw it on the shelf, then I got it. That was it.
Well, Lady Hawk was really good. Legends is good. Provided you go into when you watch it, you realize it's a fairy tale. It truly well is a fairy tale.
That's pretty cool.
And the costuming is excellent.
I was just about to say that. It looks really awesome. You know?
Yeah, Tim Curry as Darkness.
This is what, 30 years ago?
Unbelievable. It was all practical effects.
How is it that in 85, right? That's almost 40 years ago? That those special effects and graphics look a million times superior to the new Lord of the Rings series.
I mean, look at that. That's not CG. He's wearing shit on his head like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
My all-time favorite scene, and yes, I can recite it word for word, and no, I'm not doing it, is when he's trying to seduce Lily, and they're at his big long table, and I forget exactly how it goes. Hold on a sec.
Fine. Seduce us, man. Seduce us, baby. Come on.
No, I'm not doing that. But he basically thinks he's got her, and then she kind of like stands up to him, and there's like thunder and lightning in the background, and then he like is like, rah, and he like storms down the table. It's just fucking badass. Like nothing. I haven't seen a lot in recent movies where it's like, not that you're afraid, but you know what I mean. Like he's just got the presence that you're like,
right.
This guy means fucking business. He's gonna kick some ass. And it's all like at the end, she's like, promise me that I get to slit the throat. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Is she like fucking gone to the dark side or whatever? But
yeah,
I love Legend.
But also, you know, so he looks like a monster, but he's actually being persuasively seductive.
Yeah.
You know, trying to convince her, which is weird. Really good job. But guys, I gotta go.
All right.
All right, we'll go
later, man. It's probably a good time to wrap anyway.
Yeah, we'll wrap.
Good wrapping on Rob saying a man is seductive. So yeah, okay, we can wrap there.
Watch out for Lake Erie.
We could add that to the bingo.
Yes.
Man being seductive.
Dun dun dun.
Bye bye.
Wait a minute.
So like we were saying before, guys, me and Matt are in a competition. YouTube.com/JoetheLawyer.
It's not really much of a competition anymore. I mean, Matt's so far ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
but only on subscribers. I got the hours. People subscribe to Matt, but don't watch, which goes back to my theory that Matt is hiring Russian bots. I'm telling you, that's the only explanation.
Russian sex slaves, man, all over it. The corner of the market on the Russian sex slaves.
You do have the red room going on there, you know. Just saying.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch Legend now. Now you guys got me wanting to watch it. I'm busy the whole weekend. I can't.
See now people.
I do have a little bit of news. So today I got a job offer. I'm going to take a supervisory position at a company. It's not like my last job.
Yeah.
Except I make the same money.
Nice.
A lot less responsibility, but unfortunately, it's Monday through Friday, 2 to 11. So,
dude, really?
Yeah, unfortunately. But I was there today. I took a tour. They offer you the job, and then they go, hold on, we want you to tour the facility. It's
it's not the place you've been working most recently, right?
It's not where I was working. No, it's
it's not Love Hut.
What? No. But anyway, I'm fairly certain I can pop in every once in a while when I'm at work.
All right. We'll take that.
Speaking of which, though, I am wrapping up in terms of news. I mean, just on this gaming level, I should be in the next couple of weeks finally finishing the 5e game. And so I'm thinking I'm probably going to be starting the 2e game in November-ish. I'm not sure. You guys, I know you said it's a Saturday night thing, like 8-ish to 11-ish. So I know it's up. I know, Greg, you were up in the air when I first, announced it. Eric, you were up in the air as a maybe sometime. I know you got your thing. You got your show.
Yeah,
right? So
I got a regular Saturday night.
That's what I know you were saying.
Crew.
And I know, Matt, you're up in the air of all kinds of shit. So
well, now if when I take this job, I won't be able to at all. What they told me today is they want me to start on the 31st, which is kind of weird. And then I'll work day shift for probably a month, maybe 2.
Okay.
Learning the job, and then I'll switch to the second shift and be the supervisor on second shift.
Okay.
But I will say this company is hugely successful. It's a global company. It's not some shindig shit job like I've had before.
Yeah.
Small company. But they are tripling the size of their facility here. They're about to open phase 2. And when I was talking to the guy today, I was like, hey, is there opportunity for, I don't really want to stay on 2 to 11 for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
6 to 2 is a little bit pushing it for early for old dudes. So I don't know about that either. But he said, we are going to hire from within. So there's a possibility to move over to that. And then if I don't do the second phase, they're doing a third phase down the road as well. So
what are your remember you were talking about perhaps moving, you weren't tied to anywhere, blah blah blah. Is that still the thing or no?
He couldn't quit Tennessee.
I know.
I love Tennessee. There's and
wait till the summer when he's bitching at 300 degree temperatures. He's like, fuck Tennessee.
One of my daughters has kind of moved back from the East Coast.
Oh, did she? So, I remember you were talking about that.
Yeah, so she's back. I think she's going to stay.
How much of her soul did they take?
A lot. DC, Washington, DC.
Yeah.
She was like, fuck this shit. Y'all are. Sorry,
nuts.
Did I just demonetize us? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, fuck doesn't demonetize us. It better not.
Little Jose to all of you gentlemen and everybody watching.
Little Jose. He's on my son's soccer team.
Now that might have.
I'm not kidding. He's on my son's soccer team.
Give him 5 for all of us.
I will. We're going to win tomorrow.
Well, that's awesome. You're going to soccer tomorrow? I'm going to soccer tomorrow, too.
My son's the goalie, and his team is so good that he gets shot on, like, once a game. Like, the whole game.
Nice.
It's like, oh, man. He just stands there, bored out of his mind, as they crush the opponents.
On that note, crushing your enemies and seeing the was it driven before you? What the hell is that?
Help your bingo card, but you don't have them yet. But when you do have them,
well, I've got number 2 done, so I'm gonna make a third one, and I'll rearrange, jumble the words around, and then I'll send them to you.
Yeah, it just randomize a few, and then say if you got 5 cards, and everybody could go onto the site, pick a card, and it's clearly numbered 1 through 5, and then all the 1s or all the 2s or all the 3, somebody's gonna win. A certain number will win. Every time.
So, folks, well, I'll make it short because they're going to bust my ass otherwise. Endemic, common sense. Enough. There.
Matters.
Short enough?
Bye.
Short enough?
Yeah.
Do we still have that?
Yeah.
Common sense is still on there. Usually common sense.
Thanks to all my co-hosts. I always have a great time. Folks, as always, be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I will be back again tomorrow with another Gamer's Help. My wife, Rach, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And, 2 of these 3 miscreants on the screen actually have YouTube channels. I'm going to try to think of a way that we can maybe put up a site where everybody's YouTube channel is a new video goes up. You can just go to the site and go, oh, there's a new one from Matt. Oh, look, there's a new one from
that's cool.
Rob or whoever. I think it's, everybody is sharing ideas, and everybody's part of the same crew. All right, folks. On that note, thank you all, including Bad Mike, still out there. You made the card, Mike. You made the card.
That's true sign of distinction.
Laters.
Later, buddy.